All right, class. What we're going to do is we're going to create this 3D print object from this isometric sketch. And first, we're going to start with this bottom arch, which is going to be a outside diameter of 80. Which, if this is a radius of 30, then it's going to be a inside diameter of 60. And so then 10 plus 10 plus 60 is 80. So this is going to be 80. This is going to be 60. And if you go up here, this is going to be inside diameter of 30. Then 30 plus 10 plus 10, that makes the outside diameter 50. So 30 and 50, 60 and 80. And then we're going to create all this. And we go pretty fast. So just FYI, the shortcut to rotate your objects is hold the Shift key down and press the dial on your mouse to rotate your object on the axis. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move this up to the right hand side here, and so there we go. All right, so let's get this thing started, and go pretty quick. Go to File, New, Standard Millimeter, Create, and we're going to go to the sketch, and we're going to go the XY plane, and we're going to create the bottom half of this, which is going to be 80 and 60. So the first circle is going to be 80. Inner circle is going to be 60. And to move it around like that, to pan it around like that, you lift up on the Shift key, and then you just push the dial on your mouse. Press, hold, and drag. All right, so now we got to go. We got to cut the top off this thing, or the bottom off this thing. So we got to drag a line to cut it in half. Right-click OK. Then go up and trim. Okay, trim the bottom, and there we go. And lock in the aspect and the constraints, so everything's locked in. And finish sketch. Now we're going to extrude. Uh, 60 millimeters, because 50 plus 10 is 60. Up there on that. All right, zoom out. We're going to turn around and we're going to click on that surface. We're going to sketch the top half of this thing. So it's going to be a circle that's going in the opposite direction. So we're going to bring this 100 millimeters straight to the center of that right there. So we're going to bring a line up there, 100 millimeters, type it in, right-click OK, drag that out of your way so you don't have a mess. Now we're going to put, remember it's 50 on the outside, 30 on the inside, so this first one's going to be 50. And then inside is going to be 30. Right-click OK. All right, so I like to those measurement arrows. I kind of like to separate them, so you click and just drag it away. You have to click on the number located on the arrow for it to work. All right, so we're going to cut it in half, and it's going to take me more than once here to try Control Z to undo. All right, so line it up, bring it across, find the other connection, right click OK, and should be good to go. And trim. All right. Right click OK. Now we're going to finish sketch and extrude. Alright, so it's got to go 30. It's got to be 30 deep. Reverse it. Pan around, make sure you got it right lined up. Alright, so we're going to click on the surface and sketch, and we're going to do the sides, which is basically going to be 2 lines, then we're going to extrude 10 millimeters. So we're going to draw the first line straight down, go to the other side, right click OK, draw the other side, bring it straight down, click OK. There we go. And now we're going to come to the top, we're going to click on this guy. Oh, we have to fuse these two together. So project geometry, and then we're going to come up here and select this guy and snap those 2 pieces together. Snap that together. Alright. Now you have to align those. We're going to click on this guy right here. Trim the bottom. Alright, we're all done. So now we have to right click OK, then take a look at it and go finish the sketch and go extrude. We're going to go 10 millimeters on the thickness. Reverse the direction. Alright, we're halfway done. Now we got to create those little tabs on the bottom. Click on the surface and sketch. Zoom in, line it up. This is going to be tricky. You got to have some rectangles and circles, and you have to connect them together, and it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it does. So just a random measured rectangle. Click and place it, and now we're going to zoom in, and we're going to put the curve on this, but we're going to just put a circle right there, but we got to center it, so we have to hover over until you find the green, and sometimes it takes you a few seconds. So you find the green, that's the center of your line, and so we want to make sure everything's centered correctly. There it is, and do the best you can to line it up. Doesn't always work out, but just do the best you can. If not, then you just have to adjust it manually. And I do have an issue. It doesn't look like it's connected, but we're going to get into in depth on that in future lessons. Alright, so now we have to do the dimensions. The diameter of this is going to be 40 because the radius is 20. Alright, so then from here to here is going to be 10. And then from that's going to be 25. The center of the circle to the end is going to be 25. And then you're going to be from here to here is going to be 60. And then from here to here is going to be 10. So, and as I move it up, you can see that I'm not attached, so I'm going to have to do some manual. Alright, so I know that's supposed to be 10, so let's go ahead and put in the 10. And it moves it up, so just move it up manually, and that's fine. So make sure you line it up, or it won't let you trim the inside of the circle. Right click OK. As soon as you feel like you have it. Alright, we're going to lock everything down and trim the inside. There we go. Alright. So everything's deleted on the inside of the circle. Now all we have to do is extrude, and then we're going to mirror this onto the other side. It's identical on the other side. So all the measurements line up, and everything looks good to go. So last thing we got to do is finish the sketch and extrude. Right click OK, then finish sketch. And then we're going to mirror this. So it's going to be 10 millimeters thick. So reverse the direction. And it cut it out. So you have to double click on the left hand side, it brings it back up, and then you select extrude. Fix that. Alright, now we got that. Now we're going to create the fillet corners to strengthen it. And you click fillet, and then you just rotate it around and you click the corners. And there you go. It looks nice and professional. Alright, so yeah, creating those corners makes it more durable when you have a lot of weight on this bracket, whatever this bracket's holding up. So we're going to click origins and YZ plane, and we're going to click mirror, and we're going to select all the components. If that happens, you have to start over. Click mirror again. All the components, including the fillets that you created. Once you have it selected, then we're going to go up and click mirror, and then we're going to go to the left-hand menu and click that again. Our ghost is going to show up. Click OK. It shows up. Nice and neat. And we're going to get rid of this plane here. Rotate sideways, and you have to hit that sharp edge corner, right-click, and then visibility. And it disappears. And so now we have to cut the holes for the bolts. And so we're going to click the surface and sketch, and then we're going to go 16 millimeters is our diameter right there. Alright, so right click OK, finish sketch, and extrude. And we're going to cut and reverse it and go all the way through, and there it is. So now we're going to go to the other side, click the surface and sketch and circle and find the center, 16 millimeters, then right click and finish sketch and extrude, and all the way through. And there we go. So the fun part is I'm going to show you how to do some colors here. When you build a bunch of things in Inventor all on one page, like a house or a robot or a city or whatever you want to create, you want to add some different colors just to visually see. But when you print it, you upload this to the 3D printer, it's all going to print in one color. Unless you have a $10,000 printer, which I'm sure none of the schools do. So you click on the surface, and the drop-down menu gives some different colors. And the trick to getting your object printed is if your object is part of a bigger project. So a lot of students will want things printed, and there's a long line for printing. So make sure that when you want something printed, it's part of a bigger project. And being a big project, make sure you include your friends, and make sure that you have a functioning, productive team experience, and make sure everyone does their part, and make sure everyone learns, because everyone should learn this. This is a lot of fun. It's a skill that a lot of employers, especially in the Houston area, want to see that they have. So once again, we just built that. And this is called an isometric sketch. This is a whole other skill that you have to develop. You know, building's fun, but you also have to draw this thing up. You know, that way your team can collaborate. Say, okay, we want this built. We want these approximate measurements, and then you print it and see if that works. If it doesn't work, then you go back to the drawing board and drop another sketch. But it saves a lot of time if you have a sketch, you have the measurements, and so make sure there's an artist on your team. Make sure there's someone that enjoys the software, and because not everyone that is an artist enjoys the software, and vice versa. On the robotics team, I have people that love to build stuff that don't like to draw stuff. And I have people that don't like to do the software, but they want to be on the robotics team. So there's all kinds of things that you can bring to a team, and just make sure your team that they all do their part and have fun.